All right. All right. Should I play the intro or?
Mm, I mean, if you want. I mean, considering like yeah, you should put the intro, man.
Yeah, why not? I'll try. Good enough.
Good enough, good enough. Yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna kind of talk like there's people here, even though it's just us two. So I'll just start with hello guys. This is Tex Nerd
Oh,
here. I'm here with Z Doom.
oh,
Straight from his base from Latveria.
yes. I'm one of many Doombots that have come across the multiverse and landed in a Earth.
What Earth is this one again?
I have no idea. It's to be determined. It's to be determined.
All right. So we got an interesting topic that's been coming around like since yesterday. I would like to say, and it's about a recast of a certain character who we all know and love as Black Panther, aka more specifically T'Challa. So, as we know, that Chadwick Boseman passed away almost 5 years ago, and it was a tragic loss. And uh, sorry, I froze for a sec. No, but it's a tragic loss, and a lot of people have been very mixed on whether they should continue T'Challa or not. And as we know, as of now, that Marvel Studios decided not to continue have T'Challa around to honor Chadwick Boseman and his legacy, especially with the character. And as we knew from Wakanda Forever, that they kind of, not kind of, but they actually killed off T'Challa and to sort of honor his memory. And even though the movie made a lot of money, despite not having T'Challa there, a lot of people were still mixed about it. And I think as time went by, people are starting to think we need to see T'Challa more. We need to see him continue on because in the MCU because he's such an important character. And in my humble opinion, I think that they should recast him. I think it's about time that they start recasting him because, um, like I said, I mean they've honored him. I think the director Ryan Gosling, I might say his name wrong. Ryan Gosling, that's weird. No, Ryan Coogler. Sorry, Ryan Coogler. Uh, I think he honored him in such a great way, and I'm sure the cast did a great. They did a wonderful job in Wakanda Forever. So, like, well, now that they've honored him with this movie, which was a beautiful movie, honoring him, not just Black Panther T'Challa, but also Boseman. Um, I think now it's time that we move forward and start, you know, continuing T'Challa once again. And the rumor is that they wanted a new T'Challa for not just the Avengers movies, but even for Black Panther 3. So, Zedun, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, my thoughts on it is that they should have done this way, way sooner. But that's just my personal thoughts on it. I mean, to be honest, when we heard the announcement of Chadwick Boseman's passing, obviously I was very disheartened. I was like, no, this is we just lost the Black Panther. Like if you saw him on screen, you would recognize him immediately as the MCU's Black Panther, and some may even say the one and only Black Panther. And he did really amazing on that role. I think he did really good when he was introduced. In particular, I believe it was Civil War, correct?
Yeah, that was his debut.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing the way he performed in that particular film. Though you could definitely feel how much he was connected to not only his father at the time, but also his homeland, Wakanda. And then that little tease of, where is this vibranium coming from? All the way in Age of Ultron, leading up all the way to, where we ended up seeing Killmonger. Or no, is it Killmonger? It's Killmonger, right?
Killmonger for whatever Age of Ultron, or
No, for Black Panther.
yeah, Killmonger was one of the
Yeah,
first.
like when Killmonger went after like the throne essentially against T'Challa at the time, and I thought that was a brilliant way of writing there. And hinting that back all the way back from to Age of Ultron. It was amazing. So I think T'Challa's run, or should I say Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa run, was phenomenal. I thought it was great. Um, but and then came in Wakanda Forever, which I did love. I think they did a 10 out of 10 film. Like genuinely, the writing, the direction of the film was so amazing. It really made you like come back to it. Like this is a film that even if you wanted to leave, you just couldn't because you wanted to see what would happen next. You wanted to see how these characters would process whether it be certain emotions or certain events in the film, such as, Namor invading Wakanda, Namor being negotiating with Shuri in the beginning to being like, oh, I guess we don't see eye to eye now we're gonna go to war, and that war kind of led to like two different ideals that although different it was like they were going for the same thing, because Shuri was like she was just given this mantle and she was like, oh, I gotta be this person. And Namor over here, king of the deep, he's been like that since he was born. He was like made to be the king, the successor of the throne of the sea. To be honest, I don't know much about Namor. I'm so sorry. So that's why I describe him as I do. Um, but I think that was really brilliant in the film, and how they just like came into conflict, and then the way it ended was amazing. And I thought that definitely did give homage, a lot of homage, and to Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa. But what I definitely think is they should have probably recasted T'Challa way before Wakanda Forever was even, written. And only for the sole fact that that is honestly, I think, how we would move on, Chadwick Boseman was great and all. Like I really will remember Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther, but I think to keep his success and his his journey alive as T'Challa, recasting would have been a good idea. I think a lot bit of other people agree with this notion. A lot of other people agree that oh no, Shuri is good, and not to say Shuri is bad, by the way. Shuri is a great choice for Black Panther. I just think it was too soon, at least at that point in time in the story. But I do understand why they did it. Did I think it was a good choice? No, for now. And I don't think it. I mean, considering they're gonna recast it, I mean, it kind of is like, oh, maybe we didn't make the right choice, and we gotta like change it up and actually recast him. What I've been hearing is that they might bring him back via the multiverse, which I mean, in the multiverse saga, that's really possible. You could even bring Magneto from the 60s or 80s if you want, to kind of keep along with his backstory, which I'm pretty sure is based in the 40s. And you really want to keep that, true to the comics sometimes, or source material, I should say. But, it really depends what the MCU wants to do with their writing. And bringing T'Challa in, it's a good, and then it's a good, bad, who knows, kind of choice, because it really just depends how they move forward with the character, or should I say, how they introduce the character back into the MCU, two, how they handle the original T'Challa's death, three, and how they move forward with it. Okay, because and the second one is very important, because if they do something like to tarnish, what they did in Wakanda Forever, then that's gonna not sit well with some fans. They're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, you killed T'Challa just to bring back another T'Challa." So it's like you replace him, and they're gonna feel like our T'Challa is gone. Like, and it does hurt some fans. It won't hurt others, but that's just how fans are for the most part. How the world works. So yeah, those are my honest ramblings about the recast of T'Challa and what I could take from the potential recasting, which is a good and an interesting choice. I'd say interesting in the sense that we don't know what could come of it, and that's the most exciting part, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean the multiverse is. I mean probably the best thing they can do is with the multiverse is recast T'Challa through that and have another actor. I'm sure there are a lot of actors that want to be T'Challa and get this opportunity to have him play that character because he's such a wonderful character, one of the most important characters. Like they couldn't have him like stay gone forever, and Yeah, like it's like you were saying, like multiverse has so much potential there, and they could bring a very different version to T'Challa, and maybe they could bring T'Challa that but ran an empire, or one that an older T'Challa maybe, or even one that lost everything. And well, this new Earth, this MCU has everything that he lost, and it kind of like complements like Wakanda's all there, and when the Wakanda in his universe is all gone. So it's kind of like puzzle pieces, a different
T'Challa
puzzle.
is a T'Challa is a Wolverine variant.
That'd be kind of cool to see that a version of that. But yeah, I feel like Marvel's been a little bit uh, sensitive, I guess, in a way of using the T'Challa because I mean, outside of comics, it's I mean they kind of like start using less T'Challa. Like for the games, I know the game was in 1943 and it's the grandfather, but and then I see in X-Men 97 instead of and although they never explicitly say it's T'Challa or T'Chaka, they could use it as T'Challa, but instead they used the father. And yet in the animated series, they used Iron Man, Tony Stark, Iron Man, and Steve Rogers, Captain America, in X Men '97. So it's like, you have the father, but not the son. It's kind of weird, and it's all in the '90s. It all takes place in the '90s, so it's kind of off that they would use the father and not the son. Well, how we know him as the OG Black Panther, T'Challa, the son.
Yeah,
But I find it a little off, and I'm like, why didn't they use T'Challa here? It's kind of weird. I know it's kind of odd that they didn't use T'Challa in that series. And I feel like they would have been like starting to, I guess, have him retire the character. I was worried that they would probably retire the character like for even for comics and everything. I feared, but no. I mean, I see like in Marvel Rivals, it's T'Challa's in that game, so I don't think they're retiring him. But I still thought it was an odd choice that they would use T'Chaka instead of T'Challa,
oh yeah.
despite
I'm
them using Steve Rogers and Tony Stark,
yeah. I mean,
Imperial Company.
Wakanda forever, man.
And that
Um,
is a good movie, regardless of. I mean, it was like a missing void in that movie with not having T'Challa there,
for sure.
honestly. And I know that's how we're supposed to feel,
Yeah.
but beyond that, I don't think Shuri would get a lot of people coming like to the Black Panther movies. I think that's what kind of like won't help. I mean, I love Shuri. I love the character. I mean, she was Black Panther in the comics, so you can't. I mean, no one can say it's inaccurate. But in the comics, I've noticed that Shuri and T'Challa were always like co-holding the title of Black Panther. They both are Black Panther. There's nothing ruling out that there's only has to be one Black Panther. But and I guess in this case, they seem to want to make it kind of like that way. So it was kind of off. But I mean, I hope to see more Shuri, but I think her alone, she can't attract that many people to watch the Black Panther movies. I don't think so. It only worked for Wakanda Forever because, well, it's about honoring Chadwick Boseman. In a third film, you're not gonna you have it's gonna be. I mean, we knew he passed away. They honored him so well. What else can they do now? I mean, nothing else they can do to that's outside of like using Shuri more often or recasting T'Challa. He's still much of an important character because he came out in Fantastic Four. His first comic book appearance was in the Fantastic Four comic, which would be start sharing stuff. Let me see, share screen. Mm, like this was his first comic book appearances with the Fantastic Four. So as you can see that even since the '60s, since that much time ago, he was still such an important character to the Marvel lore. And he was involved in so many like comic book comic book appearances, events. Sorry, comic book events like Civil War and Secret Wars, especially Secret Wars, and hopefully that they can change that um, by recasting T'Challa and have more of him there because without having T'Challa, it's like he's like a missing chess piece.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, especially he's considered a pivotal character when it comes to the upcoming multiversal events that are going to happen, you know. And it is really unfortunate that we didn't get, you know, T'Challa's Black Panther, because in the comics, T'Challa, the character, essentially is part of the Illuminati at the time in the comics, as far as I know. And the Illuminati have a whole lot to do with what can happen. And, you know, T'Challa is involved in a lot of team ups, and I think they lost a lot of opportunities that could have been built up, you know, since or after the first Black Panther movie to kind of, you know, mold or move into this multiverse saga that we currently have. And I think it could have left for opportunities for actually the Illuminati to actually have been formed much more sooner, and maybe even other team ups that we wouldn't have thought of, you know, like, you know, Black Panther and Captain America. I mean, we saw them team up in Infinity War and Endgame, or yeah, Infinity War and Endgame. So I mean, we could have seen more of them team up. You know, there could have been a Vibranium War. There could have been Iron War. Wait,
Armor Wars.
Armor Wars. I was like, wait, it's not Iron Wars, it's Armor Wars. Yeah, so we could have seen like Armor Wars, and T'Challa could have been involved in that, and it would have been a very interesting plot in how they bring vibranium and perhaps even adamantium into the plot lines there. In terms of the tech that's coming in, they in that same Armor Wars, they could have even brought in Shuri. Oh no, not Shuri. Well, Shuri, yeah, but what's her name? Abigail Williams, is that her name?
Abigail Williams.
No, 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 not Abigail Williams. I forgot her name. Ironheart. Ironheart.
Ironheart, yeah.
Yeah, I remember her last name is Williams, I think.
Miss Williams.
But yeah, they could have brought Ironheart into that mix. So yeah, there was a lot of potential team ups that could have happened if T'Challa would have would have kept going. Like I mentioned, though, I get it. I get the reasons why they did what they did. But it's like our fellow Tex-Mex nerd just mentioned. You know, there is only so much that can be done, and Shuri might not get a lot of people in the seats at the movies. And that's mainly just because, you know, not a lot of people know Shuri, you know, as a character, as much as, you know, those who go to the movies to see, you know, T'Challa. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, like I said, I'm hoping that the recast goes so well. I mean, no doubt they're gonna get a very, very good actor, and it's not gonna be the same without Chadwick Boseman, obviously. But this character is too important for them to just let go. Because I mean, look, if they were to just, um, like just with Chadwick Boseman, like imagine if it was just Christopher Reeve Superman, or what if it was like Adam West Batman? That would be the only actors that, let's say, quote unquote, own the character, and they die with it, and then we won't see any more of those like characters again. You know what I mean? Like it's, I think it's okay for them to move forward. I mean, DC did with Superman and Batman. Like there's so many Batman, so many Supermen, and I hell even Marvel Studios did it too with Red Hulk, the Thunderbolt Ross. The actor William Hurt passed away a couple years ago, and they not long after, not I mean sometime after, not too soon, but not very long after, they recast him with Harrison Ford, which no doubt will do a great job as Red Hulk. But it's like, well, if you could easily do with, you know, and again, to be fair, he's not the biggest character for Marvel. That's big as T'Challa, so I would understand the argument. But it's like, if they can do it like easily with, you know, a soon to be relevant, more not more relevant, but like a sort of like major player. I mean, they could have done the same with T'Challa. I don't see why they couldn't do with T'Challa. It's very weird. I see you got your throne ready.
Yeah, I got my throne ready, man.
Hmm.
So many thrones.
No, but anyways, it's like I said, it's kind of a little frustrating to think of it like that. Like A lot of people can be Superman. A lot of people can be Batman. A lot of people can be. I mean, I wouldn't doubt they could even do like Iron Man and Captain America. Or so hell, there's already three Spider-Men. No, scratch that. More than three, like five? Five if you include the 70s show and the a Japanese one. There's five, I think, that come out of my mind. Five Spider-Men on screen. And yeah, they can't even do that with Black Panther. I don't get it. There's also another rumor floating around saying that instead of it being the actual T'Challa, it could be the son T'Challa that we saw in the end of Wakanda Forever. That they would recast him, sort of, in a way. And I'm like, I mean, look, no hate to the kid or anything, but it's like you're basically doing this recasting, but making it more complicated by having to age him up and time travel involved makes it more complicated, and the general audience will not get it that quickly. It'll be very hard for them to understand. Like, I mean, multiverse is already a very complicated thing for the general audience. You're gonna bring time travel with it. It's gonna be messy. Just to recast instead of recasting the OG T'Challa, they're recasting the son. It's like just recast the OG, and just less complicated. Just bring it from another universe, and boom, that's it. I mean, don't have to bring in the kid because, okay, let's say they do recast the kid, and let's say I don't know, maybe they do some time travel stuff. It's gonna be very, I think, kind of weird because it's like, well, there's so much of the original T'Challa story that we haven't seen. We haven't seen him with the Fantastic Four yet. We haven't seen him with Storm. We haven't seen him with any other character, the Illuminati, like you were saying, and so many teams that he's associated with. He's seen so many teams, and he's been a major player in a lot of these like, events. It's like it won't be the same if it's the child T'Challa or T'Challa Junior. It won't be that much the same. It'll be very weird and off. Instead of like Shuri, it's like Shuri's brother. It would be Shuri's nephew. Imagine, and he's like,
Mm.
maybe older than her somehow. It'd be kind of weird if they have to age him up and do some time travel stuff. But like I said, I don't think they're going to do that. There's a rumor that says that they probably will, but I doubt it. I mean, that's super complicated. And then look, it's been like what five, almost four? No, let's say about four and almost 4.5 years since he passed away. I think now would be the perfect time to bring him over and bring in another T'Challa and yeah, just continue from there and you really delve into more of Black Panther's story because there's so much that we haven't seen yet of from the OG T'Challa. Literally, the only film that was mostly like that's very much about him was the first Black Panther movie. The second film wasn't much about T'Challa. I mean, other than his passing, it was not much about T'Challa's. I mean, we do get like Wakanda versus uh, Atlantis sort of storyline, but beyond that, it's like I mean, without T'Challa, it just didn't feel the same. And well, there's like I said, there's so many things that they can do with bringing the OG T'Challa back.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, there was one particular leak that like leaked about. I think it was around the time Wakanda Forever was in production, perhaps, but I can't even remember the timing of it. But it was a leak of Doctor Doom meeting
Oh
T'Challa in the end credit scene, which I thought was pretty insane. That could have been from a game, though. It looked like it was from a game, to be honest. But it looked like pretty good, pretty interesting concept art for a potential skirmish between Doctor Doom and Wakanda, which is a thing in the comics where Doom essentially is after Wakanda's vibranium. So I think it would have been an interesting conflict and an interesting plotline to introduce one of the biggest villains in Marvel Comics, Doctor Doom, to fight against T'Challa, and then in doing so, in turn, introduce the Fantastic Four in the same movie. By that I mean probably not officially introducing them, but perhaps even hinting of their existence in the MCU, or perhaps a multiversal incursion that happens, and boom, Doom and the Fantastic Four are in here, which is kind of what's going to happen. But you
that
know,
sounds like Doomsday.
it sounds like Doomsday, right?
Pretty
See,
much.
Nah. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you know a lot of things could have been done, but it is what it is. It is what it
Yeah,
is. So yeah, I mean, from what I know, T'Challa is also involved in Marvel Rivals these days, and even Marvel Snap some games. So they're still updating his resume on those games. So a lot of newer audiences are getting to know T'Challa, getting to experience his perhaps not exactly character, but how he is or how he's designed, and that gets people interested. Gets people talking. And maybe this is the reason for his recasting. More people are starting to get to know him. Newer audiences, newer eyes are starting to gaze upon the magnificence and awesomeness that is the Black Panther, T'Challa. Um, so yeah, I think it should be good, interesting decision, like I mentioned before, to recast T'Challa. Whatever actor they choose, I'm pretty sure MCU would do good casting calls for that. So the only thing we can wait and see is wait until Black Panther 3 or perhaps Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars to see how or what direction they take for the Black Panther storylines going forward. If they are considering this recasting, like, or like if they are very, very close to considering, yeah, we'll go ahead with this recast. So,
I feel like they might be reconsidering it because it's only like, let's be real, like we were talking about it, Ray. Shuri will not draw a lot of audiences to those seats. Shuri alone cannot do it as much, even if she kept on being Black Panther. Now, I'm not saying that she shouldn't be Black Panther anymore, but I'm saying is that her alone, she can't attract as many people. And like Wakanda Forever, I mean, it made $1 billion. Mainly because I would assume because it's like a send off to Chadwick Boseman. And are you eating something?
huh?
Are you eating something?
No, I'm fixing
Oh,
my throne room, man.
are you fixing your throne? Okay.
I'm fixing my throne room, man.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there Shuri cannot attract a lot of people on her own. She's a great character, don't get me wrong. Very intelligent, very much knows what she's doing, but alone won't get a lot of people there. So it needs to have more of that, like, of that missing void. I mean, they could bring in Michael B. Jordan back as Killmonger and have him become the next Black Panther, but that's also gonna be pretty messy too because he already died, and well, now they gotta like revive him somehow and bring him back as not T'Challa but as the Black Panther of the MCU. But that'll be very messy. So the best course of action would be just to recast him, use the multiverse, and just bring in a Black Panther from another universe, or better yet, incursion. Maybe whatever universe that crosses with the MCU, they'll have a T'Challa there. I like to think like a little off topic, but I like to think like the one universe that would encourage with the MCU timeline would be the Fox universe, the
Could
X Men,
work.
and I don't think. I mean, there could be more worlds that could merge with the MCU, but I'm thinking that I think the two, because there's two worlds that would collide. That would be the MCU and the Fox universe. The Fox because they have the X Men, they got mutants there, and maybe that's where they can use variants of other Avengers, like a Steve Rogers, a Tony Stark, that currently the MCU doesn't have, a Black Widow, and they can use that timeline to like have these characters like appear without having to revive them in the MCU. They just revive in the Fox universe, and they could be different, and maybe different actors. Maybe it doesn't have to be Robert Downey or Chris Evans, but it could be different like
Yeah,
actors
like a complete reset.
in a way, kind of, but in the Fox timeline. And they could bring back the X Men cast. I mean, I've always wanted to see him come back, so this would be a perfect time for them to come back. Have a sort of like X Men versus Avengers kind of thing going on, but like a little taste of it. Especially with Hulk versus Wolverine, that'd be pretty badass. That would be pretty cool to see that. See that a little taste of that before we get something more in line in in the new MCU timeline that they'll probably do after Secret Wars. And yeah, of course they could bring the T'Challa there because hey, he's from another universe. He's in a universe that has X-Men in it, so why not? And they can merge it, and that new timeline could have not only new, mutants, but also now the Fantastic. I mean, the Black Panther. As for
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, I mean, their universe is rumored to be destroyed before they start moving to the MCU. So I would assume that their universe might not encourage with the MCU because their universe might be already destroyed thanks to Galactus.
Oh, we're talking first steps. Oh my goodness. Are you sure you want to do this topic right now? Right
Do you
now?
have an idea?
Uh, I have plenty of ideas, but I mean, Fantastic Four First Steps takes place like about like, and let's see, and like about
In the 60s.
not like in not month wise, like when it releases
Oh, July. It was released in
July.
July.
Yeah, so we could save that topic for a little later if you want. It's a good topic though,
I'm just saying,
but
I
I could bounce off that topic though if you
like.
want.
Yeah, go for it.
No, you go first. I think you were gonna say something.
Oh, I was just thinking, just basically thinking, I don't think, like, I mean, we could see the Fantastic Four in the Fox universe too, but I'm thinking that I think the Fantastic Four will probably travel to the MCU timeline and would probably warn, I guess, the Avengers of what's going on and be major players in Doomsday and Secret Wars, of course.
I mean, I hope that happens. I mean, who knows? They might have, been from the 616 all along. Cinema, as they say, cinema.
A lot of rumors going around, but I feel like I think they confirmed that it was alternate reality because there's no other heroes in that universe other than them. It takes place in a very futuristic 60s, so I think that whatever they were doing back at well in that timeline, they revolutionized a lot more. So I think it's like kind of like the Jestins, that
Justin.
cartoon. Yeah, like
Yeah, they revolutionized because they came from 616. Yeah, nah, joking. I'm kidding.
I
But
mean, I would like for them to be in the MC, and I like them to read the OG like MCU timeline, but I feel like it would be kind of cool to see them in another universe too, at
it
least for
would
this
be.
kind of version of them.
Yeah, I mean, it would be an interesting idea for the most part. Either way, whichever way direction they take, the only we'll find out is the upcoming information that comes out from our scoopers. Yeah, for the most part.
That's all over the place. Yeah,
Yeah. So, but other than that, I mean, bouncing off your topic from Fantastic Four, because I do think we should probably say that for an official discussion,
official podcast.
an official.
Yeah, we can save it if you like. We can save it. I'm just doing a little test run on these some of sort of topics like
Oh,
recasting T'Challa was like the latest one. I'm like, oh, let's try this one out.
yeah. If you want to keep discussing Fantastic Four, then I'm down. I'm game.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
What's
You
on your
go
head?
first. Huh?
What's on your head?
Oh, my head? I
Yeah.
mean, regarding Fantastic Four First Steps, so many things, man. I'm excited for them to introduce Victor Von Doom into the
Of course.
story or into the MCU film universe
Do,
because, I mean, it's Doom. I love Doom.
do you
Uh,
like Doom? How much you like Doom?
I mean, I don't know, man. Can you tell? Is it that hard to tell? Um,
Is it? I
is
can't
it?
tell.
But I mean, Doom is one of my favorite characters. Even if I don't know that much about him, I think he's definitely a character that I definitely, as a villain, would respect. And it's amazing to respect a villain because just the way he approaches things, it's wrong, but at the same time, he thinks it's right. Like he does whatever he can to get to his goal. And I say this without knowing anything about Doom, by the way, because I haven't read his comics. So that's why I was like, let's hold this topic up. But no, what I'm excited for first steps was how they introduced Victor Von Doom. Will it be a portrait picture of Reed and Victor like studying or like just posing for a picture for university? Or some like reward, or will it just be a little cameo by Robert Downey Jr. in the Fantastic Four First Steps film, like a flashback? I really do think it's either one of those two, or many people have speculated that he might be in a post-credit scene. Who knows? I mean, we all the thing that's going to be interesting to see how the fans and especially the general audience take it is, should they introduce Doom in the First Steps movie, then how will fans who some are acclimated to Doctor Doom. I mean, we've seen him in Marvel Rivals, a recent game that came out from Marvel, as well as Fortnite, and even Marvel Snap, some of those other games, as well as other modes of marketing that they've done. And I think they've done a really spectacular job of advertising, both the Fantastic Four
Oh, the
and
list.
Doctor Doom, to
For
get
sure.
like the fans that are not acclimated to the Fantastic Four, acclimated to them, get to know them, perhaps get interested in them, and that gets them diving into the lore and to find out more. And that's the best part. So it's interesting to see how the fans will react to an already established Fantastic Four and an already established Doctor Doom. In other words, we're not going to get an origin story. We're going into a climax story, or a mid story, like somewhere in the middle sort of plot line, because it's not the end of their story, obviously, since they're coming to the MCU. But it probably will not be the first. It probably will be the last story for Doctor Doom, I think. It would be the first and last. But this is just my opinion. Mainly because I mean, Secret Wars is kind of his big hurrah. It's kind of his, Thanos level event where he gathers all the Infinity Stones, he snaps his fingers, and boom, the Avengers are crumbling, and then they come back and defeat him. So it's kind of like that kind of event. It's monumental, it's colossal, it's cinematic. It's
It's been
cinematic. It's cinematic. So it's one of those things that I think it's going to be really interesting to see how the fans react to how an already established Fantastic Four, or an already established set of heroes and villains, are going to be, introduced to them. So I think that's going to be really interesting. But that aside, I'm also interested into how the Silver Surfer and Galactus are going to play into this story. I've heard many rumors that there's going to be Moment and other Fantastic Four villains in this film. So it really is going to be interesting how they're going to handle this film. I really hope that they adapt a portion of Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four. I've read the complete edition. I don't know the specific issues, but in regards to the complete edition, definitely go recommend to read it. I recommended it to my fellow podcaster here already. So yeah, definitely go check it out. But in this plot line, Reed is essentially trying to find like a perfect solution, and he's like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to fix this problem, and he's like, I need to fix it. And this very idea of trying to fix it leads him to create a portal into a multiversal portal called the bridge. And this bridge, if you see it in the the most recent trailer from Marvel Rivals, it's there in the season one trailer from Marvel Rivals, when Reed Richards is just like stretching everywhere, and there's like a little circle machine behind him. That's the bridge, and that bridge is a multiversal bridge that connects him to other Reeds in the multiverse. And this, my friends and comrades and Tex-Mex nerds, is how I hope that the plot unfolds in First Steps, because should we are in the multiverse saga, we might as well bring the Council of Reeds into this film, bring them into the fold, make them the villains, do something, because I mean, it would be pretty cool. People would get confused, but as a comic book fan of this particular plot and storyline that Jonathan Hickman wrote, I would love to see it. So yeah, now you go, Sal.
Actually,
Your
I'd
turn.
be very excited to see the Council of Reeds. I mean, it's a perfect time. I've heard rumors that they want to have him show up in Doomsday and in Secret Wars, so I would like to see that and have more actors. Maybe even bring back John Kowski back for Mr. Fantastic.
Ooh,
And
is he the original actor? Like,
no, he was in the Doctor Strange. The
ah,
one
I see,
that
I see.
points spaghetti.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
guess.
Jonathan Krasinski. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
I thought you said a different name. I was like, what? Oh, hello, fellow viewer. Yes, Marvel Rivals. It's a game that you could play on your PC or laptop, should your laptop handle it, and
It's
or a
advertising.
console. Yeah, I'm advertising Marvel. Right, we're not sponsored, by the way. Marvel sponsor us. Um, but yeah, it's a really interesting thing to think about first steps. I cut you off, by the way. You were saying
No, no, no,
something.
you're fine. You're fine.
Are
You're
you good? Okay. If you have something to say, you just cut in, man. You're good.
good. Cut off.
But for the most part, I mean, I'm really excited for how they're gonna play first steps off. I mean, I think I'm excited for how Pedro Pascal is gonna perform. I'm excited for how the Things actor and Vanessa Kirby is gonna perform, as well as Johnny Storm's actor. I can't remember their names. That's why I say the character and actor.
Yeah, I don't know
Um,
either. He just came out in what was that show? Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
On
Yeah,
that show, and that's all I really know him from.
yeah.
Oh,
So
he's
it's
Betty
gonna
also.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be really interesting to see how we see these characters. That's why it's a very most anticipated film of the summer for sure. I mean, it's been years since we had the Fantastic Four in film. I
Ten.
mean, the last time we saw the Fantastic Four was I think 10 years ago, and
Yeah,
that didn't go so well. So
it's another story. Oh my gosh, the fact that freaking Fox before the merger, that that they just the reason why they made that film in the first place was because to keep the rights.
to keep the rights,
Literally, what Sony's been doing with Spider-Man right now, but with other characters like Craven, Madam Web, and all that. So, just another
another can of worms.
another desperate move for Fox.
Yeah,
They rushed the film and they made it, and yeah, Fantastic Four is in much better hands with Marvel, much better hands.
it's exciting. It's
And I'm
exciting.
happy to see Marvel well finally utilizing Fantastic Four, especially for such a big project big projects like
Yeah,
Secret Wars and Doomsday. Those are
yeah.
perfect ways to have them back. And speaking about Doom, um, I think we will see another. I feel like I don't know if we are, but I think that we will see an 616 Doom, and I don't think Robert Downey. I mean, his version of the character won't be here. Will be there for very long. But
I
hmm,
No, you go first. You go first. Sorry, sorry. Yeah, you go first. Sorry.
but I feel like he won't be like your typical Doctor Doom. He will be like Superior Doom. I think that's the
Superior
kind
Doom.
of they kind of make him different from like from the 616 Doom. They're gonna have to make him more powerful and different. And so I think that this version of Doom will not be your average Doom, but a superior Doom who is gonna go take over the multiverse and
Hmm.
play God.
You play
And
God
powers from maybe Kang or the Beyonder, like in the comics.
or Loki.
Maybe Loki, yeah. Loki has the power of the multiverse in his hands. The throne's right there for Doom. And it'd be very crazy to see him actually, like, just instead of like Iron Man is in the Avengers, it'd be just Doom alone. I mean, insane. And that's how, and but he has to get a lot of power from powerful beings just to, fight such a powerful god now. Loki having all these universes in his hands, just like that one, just like that one.
Just like that one. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity here. I mean, this is an empty throne right now. But imagine.
I think Loki's taking a piss right now.
Nah, that's not it. But I think yeah, I think that says it all. I mean, we're very excited for the film for the most part.
Oh, we are very excited for it. It's probably next year is going to be a pretty interesting year for Marvel. Now they're going to be back on track with making a lot of movies and a lot of shows. And I'm excited for my top one will be Fantastic Four for sure. Thunderbolt seems seems interesting because we'll see what they can do with Thunderbolts. I heard there are a lot of heroes and villains that are going to appear in Thunderbolts because I think aside from Fantastic Four, a lot of Marvel is going to be street level. Well, like street level, like Earth level, not like Daredevil street level, but movie wise, we will see a lot of like Earth stuff. I feel like that. I think with Captain America 4 that we're going to see a lot of tie-ins from Disney Plus shows and even Eternals because we saw the hand popping up um, in the trailer. That's from Celestial, and that's where they're going to get the animanium from there.
from
And I feel
Tiamat.
like it's going to close down. It's going to close up a lot of stories that were. I mean, not a lot, not all of them, but some of the storylines that were supposed to be closed, they'll close them up there before Doomsday and Secret Wars will be in that movie. And Thunderbolts, I think, will do the same thing as well. At least when it comes to the Earth stuff, because there's some things that they have to close, they have to wrap up before they start moving more into the multiverse. And Fantastic Four will not be doing much of that because it's going to be a standalone universe. It's going to set up Doomsday and Secret Wars directly, then Cap 4 and Thunderbolts. So they have
Yeah,
to wrap up things there and start making another Avengers team before Doomsday Cup pops up.
yeah.
And
I think. Nah, you go. You go.
and for the TV side, we got Daredevil. Daredevil is my also one of my most anticipated projects of the year, and I like to see zombies. Marvel Zombies is pretty cool. Little project they've been doing. Hopefully they continue that series because so many things they can do with Marvel Zombies. And what other shows were coming up? Do you remember any other show? Wonder Man was also another one, but there were more standalone shows like She Hulk and Miss. Well, not Miss Marvel anymore, but a lot like Moon Knight and She Hulk that they're pretty much standalone, but they still take place in the same universe. But they do their own thing and stuff. So, but I think that it would be good for Marvel to start wrapping up some stuff, and also introducing new stuff like Red Hulk. And I've heard that they're going to start introducing some mutants in the MCU
Oh yeah,
already. So what I'm thinking is that I'm thinking that Cap 4 is going to have the introduction and Adamantium in the MCU. I'm thinking that they're going to show something with Weapon X.
I could see that.
That's like the most like if the people at Marvel said, "Hey, we're gonna have mutants in a couple films before Doomsday and Secret Wars," well then Weapon X would be the best one for Cap 4. I mean, it's right there. The Adamantium's right there. You got a Hulk in that movie, so it's like Weapon X sounds pretty good. A good way to introduce him in the MCU.
I like the idea.
And well, Thunderbolts, they have opportunities for Thunderbolts. They can do something with Thunderbolts. I'm not sure what
I mean,
exactly.
I think they're. I think they're gonna do something big. I think out of all the films, Thunderbolt is gonna be very close to the multiverse.
That'd
Besides
be
Fantastic Four, I really hope Fantastic Four is a bit of a multiversal film because the Council of Reeds that I mentioned earlier. But
Fantastic Four
Thunder,
can be a multiverse film.
but Thunderbolts though, I'm pretty sure can 100% introduce the multiverse in one way through one character, and that is our boy Bob.
Century?
I think it's possible. I mean, should they do go in the direction of the comics related to his origin, that would make things super interesting. It would be very hard to slide it into the narrative of the current MCU and how it's already established, but I think it would shake things up and it would make things really interesting in terms of writing. It would be difficult, but it'd be interesting to see.
It'd be kind of interesting. I forgot Century's gonna be in Thunderbolts. Goodness. I feel like there are rumors that they're gonna use like I think they're gonna mix in like the super soldier serum, but with like also like Eternals blood or something like that. Some kind of thing that they mix super soldier with something else like stronger. I think
Like
it's
adamantium,
he's not Wolverine, but
or should it?
it's kind of like Eternals. I think the blood of Eternals probably they collected from the fights, I guess, with the super soldier serum, and combined they make this ultimate soldier, which is Sentry, who's basically Marvel's Superman.
Yeah,
So they basically made a Superman, but with the super soldier serum.
it's pretty exciting, man. These upcoming films, these upcoming projects for the MCU are very hype, and I think they're doing a great job marketing. I mean, like I mentioned before, They have Marvel Rivals, Marvel Snap. They have a whole bunch of marketing strategies that they're using, at least for the younger audiences that I've noticed, and for like just general audiences in general, for people to find out. One thing I like that they did, which I we talked about this earlier off discussion, and that's that in Marvel Rivals, they introduced Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm just recently, or they're introducing them tomorrow, like about a couple of hours in season 1. And I think it's really interesting to find out that the first skin they introduce for Mr. Fantastic is the Maker. And if you don't know who the Maker is, he's a diabolical version of Reed that has all the genius but no morals. He does whatever it takes, okay? That's the most I know, okay? I haven't read the comics, unfortunately. So I would splurge you with information, but that's not gonna happen today. So yeah, I think it would be very interesting to see how the makers introduced into Secret Wars and Doomsday. Should they introduce him similar to how Jonathan Hickman introduced him in Secret Wars, or from what I've heard, they that he's introduced him in there. But I think it's really interesting that they chose the Maker's skin. Out of all the alternative versions of Rita they could choose, they chose the Maker, and I think that says a lot because it's acclimating the audiences that play these games and things like that, like Fortnite as well, to understand what's going to happen in the future narrative. Preparing them for Doom and Doomsday and Fantastic Four, preparing them for the Maker when he makes a potential. This is only a potential appearance because they might change the storyline. Who knows? In Secret Wars. So I think it's really interesting to see and find out and know that Marvel is potentially articulating a web of marketing to market their future films in a very unique way, and I think it's really interesting and really creative, to be honest. Out of the Marvel team.
Yeah, the marketing is certainly interesting, and I like that. Like you were saying that they have Doctor Doom and like in Fortnite and the Marvel, not Marvel Rivals, right? Is he Marvel Rivals or no?
Who?
Doom. Doctor Doom.
He is, but not a playable character.
Interesting. Well, they have Doctor Doom, and now they're having the Fantastic Four everywhere at the right time. They're doing all this at the right time, and obviously, as we know, that they're doing it because for the movie, but for the general audience, especially younger general audience, they're gonna have a fun time, like have playing these characters and getting to know them a little bit more. And then when the movie comes out, they'll have that better idea of who they are, and they won't be like, "Who the hell are these guys? They're not Avengers."
Ooh, sorry, you want to explain that one?
What? Which
You
one?
want to you want to explain that I know I have the mask, Sal. Wait,
Yeah.
wait, wait. The See the chat, see the chat. I got this. I got this.
Chat?
Yeah.
He said something. What he said?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't say anything. That I meant like the stream chat.
Oh,
Let's see. Let's see. Mm,
who's Doctor Dom? Oh, hey, it's Andy. Um,
Dr. Dom is my favorite.
Dom. Doctor Doom is
Yeah,
basically
same.
the guy they're looking at right now.
He's one of my people. He's a fellow Doombot.
Doom.
Um, if anything, Doctor Doom is definitely my favorite as well. I mean, if they introduce him in the MCU, I think it'd be well. They are introducing him, right? I think it's going to be really interesting how they do it. It's going to be really fun, and considering his origin and how it starts off with sacrifices and things like that. Should you all look into it? Because I haven't. I wish I had. Definitely recommend it if you haven't though. um, because I think Doctor Doom is one of those characters that you look at and Tony Stank. That's true. Tony Stank is going to be playing him in the MCU. It's going to be interesting to see how Tony Stank plays him off. I think he's going to do really well though. But who knows? We might get Cillian Murphy in there. So if any Peaky Blinders fans are in the chat,
Oh, my
make
brother
yourselves
loves
make
Peaky
yourselves
Blinders.
known. Yeah, Peaky Blinders. So
That was a huge
Uh,
show.
we might get silly. I had a theory that I should probably mention. I have a theory that the Doctor Doom we're seeing, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, is in fact a Doombot because in the Marvel comics that I've read, at least, there is a part where Doctor Doom has these like Doombots and he sends them across like universes and they're like all like trying to take over for him and do his bidding and spread the word of doom as they should. So I think it would be very interesting to see that by the end of Secret Wars, in order to introduce a 616 Doctor Doom, it is in fact revealed that Robert Downey Jr., Doctor Doom, should he be defeated at the end of Secret Wars, he was this entire time a Doombot, the most powerful Doombot created by the original 616 Doctor Doom. And by the end of the film, we see who it is. He's behind the curtain manipulating everything. He didn't have to do anything to start Secret Wars. All he had to do was tell Robert Downey Jr., Doctor Doom, what to do, and boom, Cillian Murphy is revealed to be 616 Doctor Doom. I think it would be very interesting if they do that. I don't think they're going to do it, but could they? It's possible. It's the MCU. Anything's possible in the MCU at this point in the
Bit
multiverse
of
saga.
bit of a brain scramble.
Brain scramble. Yeah. So
Imagine you making a more powerful version of himself.
that would be very interesting. I mean, it could happen. He's Doom. He
Doom.
can do what Doom does.
It would be cool to see like if it's Shailen Murphy's Doctor Doom versus Superior Doom, which is Robert Downey. That'd be
Ooh,
one hell of a like reunion also from like Oppenheimer. So
yeah,
pretty crazy. See, like a lesser, not well. I mean, he's not like evil, but let's say a lesser evil version with a more evil version, or the more extreme version and the not so extreme version of Doom fighting each
yeah.
other.
I mean, we might see a version of that in regards to like not Doctor Doom, but in regards to Reed Richards versus the Maker. Should it be possible that the Maker makes himself known in Secret Wars? And I think he could be in the films, but who knows? I mean, based on the games of Marvel Rivals, at least as far as I know, he's in the film. Okay, he better be in the film. I mean, you don't give Mr. Fantastic to have a first skin in Marvel Rivals as the Maker and not put him in a film. But if he's not, too bad, so sad. But if he is, that's a W right there. That's a W. So yeah. Anything else you would like to mention, dear commentator?
Well, I don't know. Just it'd be pretty cool seeing all of this. Like, I mean, Fantastic Four is gonna be very much like in all these. Like, their presence is gonna be very much in all these films coming up. So Fantastic Four definitely gonna be the most important film this year. And not only that, not just the team itself, but also the kids of Mister Fantastic and Sue Storm are gonna be a big part of the Avengers films. So we're gonna have a good chunk of like the storylines being revolved around the Fantastic Four. And it surprised me because, I mean, it's in the eyes of the general audience, they're a very new team, well, new version of the team, and now they're getting like this the year after they're gonna have like two big movies back to back, so they're gonna have a very big role, and I don't know, I'm excited, a little nervous though, but a little excited because it's like happy to see them and happy to see them finally cross over with Avengers and Thunderbolts and the X-Men, which people have been waiting for so many years. But now it's becoming a reality now. So I'm excited for that, and hopefully, I mean, I'm no doubt they're going to do so well, but hopefully they don't rush it too much, or at least somehow they make these films longer. That's what I think they should like start like. Hopefully, they make them like longer, like or at least make like a part like Secret Wars being like part one and part two. I think that'd be
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
yeah. I think a Secret Wars Part One. And imagine at the end of the and after the end credits, it's like revealed that to be continued after Avengers Secret Wars. Instead of like continuing like the storyline, it just goes straight into the Mutant Saga, and then like after the Mutant Saga concludes, there's another Secret Wars. But it's more or less one of those things that how soon should they do it? Should it, should they go for a number two or should they not? It's one of those things that should a two be done or should it not? Doom does not know.
Yeah, interesting, interesting. I'm excited for what's to come, and I don't know. Like a lot of people been hating on Marvel. I mean, they're not perfect, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, instead of Marvel, you know the one franchise that I despise with a passion because it goes against all Doom stands for
What is it?
is the one and only Disney. Have you heard what Disney has been doing recently with Fubo and Hulu and those things? Okay, okay, this is where you take the mic, man. I'll drop the mic and leave it to you, man. This is your role.
Uh,
It's
I
your
was
turn now.
I was reconsidering it, but I'll. I know not many people know that, but I'll try bringing up a thing. Hold on. Now that you brought it up, I might as well just kind of bring it in now.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't want to mention it.
I
So
did,
I
at
was,
first, I mean, like, well, yeah, pretty much. I like how you brought it in, though. It's pretty.
yeah, I had to think of a way. I was looking for a segue at any part of the discussion. So yeah.
I know one good source. It was kind of surprising. I mean, it's more into the sports realm. It's not really like Marvel or anything, but something I was keeping an eye out since I'm starting to watch more sports and everything. I was like, it's such an interesting topic to discuss. But all right, well, I'll try and see. Let me bring this up. Let me try to.
Whoa,
Let me
you
see what
zoomed in
the.
quite a bit.
I zoomed in. Did I zoom?
Doom does not like it.
Oh, okay. Well, around a little bit. Let me just try this one. I'm still learning how to do the share screen stuff, so try to see if I can do that. Oh, you're gone. Oh, you're not gone. Ah, screw. Let's
Oh,
try.
I small Doom.
Now you're small now. How
Now
about
I'm
this
a
one?
small Doom.
All right. What if I can add a?
Doom will not be left small.
Let me try this out. Share screen. Let's try that. How does it look like on this side?
Whoa, this is new. This is
Does it
innovative.
look, does it look good or how is it?
It looks. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That looks better. All right. Is it visible? It's a little black. Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
I can see it fine.
All right, no, that's fine. All right. So it was interesting to see this because I was like, as someone who's starting to watch more sports, I was like, the heck? I mean, they had like a what do you call a lawsuit last year because apparently Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers they were gonna make a streaming service called Venue Sports, and Venue Sports is basically has the ESPN's channels. They got the Fox Sports channels, and they got TNT in there. Surprisingly, though, no CBS or NBC, but they got a good chunk of the sports. Like I think they said 54% of sports content will be in this one app, and there's no middleman like Fubo or like a yeah, favorites like Fubo or Sling. They won't be there. So Fubo was like, oh shit, like this gonna it's gonna ruin our company, and basically they sued the three companies and Venue Sports. And so it was a big shock that almost a year after the lawsuit, because they've been butting heads and going, and of course the government was all in for Fubo, and they were against Disney, Fox, and Warner. And then suddenly now it's like, shoot, now they're gonna create a streamer because now Disney's gonna merge their Hulu Live TV merge with Fubo TV, which shocked a lot of people, even myself. 'Cause I was not expecting a merger to happen. I don't think this is Disney's. It is. I don't think it's Disney's entire idea either, because Fubo needed a buyer, and I think they used a lawsuit as a way to, how do I say, get upper hand. And yeah, like it says here, new streamer will be like Venue Sports, and Yeah, like it basically says right here, like lawsuit they went against companies, and well, DirecTV they also had like a carriage disagreement with Disney too. So basically, DirecTV they made Disney Plus and Hulu, no, Disney Plus and ESPN Plus available for free for DirecTV. More packages with their streaming services. So that was pretty interesting. And yeah, it says here Hulu Live TV and Fubo. They'll create. I think Fubo TV will be allowed to create a sports and broadcast service of their own, which will of course include ABC and the ESPN channels and ESPN Plus. And now it gives Fubo more like flexibility on making more slimmer packages. Instead of buying like the bigger packages with all the channels, you could buy less channels for cheaper prices, and that's what they're trying to go for. And Venue Sports was kind of like the disruptor of it all. That's as far as they thought. But with this deal going on, a lawsuit is now gone, and now they have the freedom to actually release the Venue Sports. I've heard as soon as before Super Bowl that they wanted to release it. So in about a month, they got like 1 month to like release it if they really wanted to. And this merger, because of that, will give Disney 7% of ownership of Fubo. But things that say that Fubo will have control. So the CEO is going to remain there. All the people that run Fubo will be uh, still running the show. So they're not going to fire anyone. They're not going to. I mean, I think they're going to make a board, and it's in mostly Disney. But beyond that, it's going to be still run by Fubo. Tell us. All right, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting because Fubo has all the channels. They have a lot more sports. They're more sports focused, and Hulu has more of everything else. All the channels that Fubo lost, like Warner Brothers channel, like TNT and TPS, were gone since 2020. So this will be very beneficial. And not only that they'll merge, but the Fubo team will start doing carriage deals instead of Disney directly. So they gave a lot of like, I guess, sort of like control and work for Fubo, so they can continue doing what they got to do with keeping these kinds of this business like standing. And now, now I'm not a business expert, but what I've heard is that the the Fubo will also have a lot of more smoother cash flow, positive cash flow, which I'm not sure what that means, but it means like I think it means like they'll have more money involved. They won't be losing much money as before, and they won't be going out like they'll have an easier time staying afloat. So I thought that was really interesting because now that even if Venue is going to be released, that they'll be still up and running because Disney's helping them like stay up and running, and it's kind of an interesting deal. So yeah, there'll be more places for ESPN to be around. I mean, you have Venue Sports, you have Fubo TV with its new package, upcoming new package, and now you have the ESPN is gonna make their own streaming service that's gonna release in the fall of this year, and they would say August of 2025. So there's three new ways to watch ESPN now, so it's a lot more leeway, a lot more place to watch sports. So I thought it was kind of like cool. As me as a sports guy who watches hockey and football and recently college football, I thought it was kind of cool to see more of that like coming in and more places to watch and more I guess more of options. Even though they're not super cheap options, but I mean we'll see what happens with that because who knows what they'll do when once they get those things up and running. And yeah, that's my thoughts. I hope that we they do a good job, I suppose. And like I said, it was kind of exciting. Not exciting, but kind of like interesting to see how they'll do that with football. Now that I mean, basically, you have Disney keeping DirecTV, not DirecTV up and running, but they're trying to make it easier for DirecTV to have more packages. And this is basically the same thing with Fubo, but now they own a good chunk of Fubo now. And but because of that, now they have more cash flow coming in, so they have more money coming through, and they're not losing that much money, and they could have better opportunities to talk with other companies to carry their channels, and it's cheaper than cable, so it's going to be very and not only that, but they're going to make more skinnier packages, so and make it cheaper for a lot of the people who want to watch sports only, or they want to watch entertainment only. Like there's gonna be more opportunities for people. I would hope so at least. It's still very new. It's very up there. Like it's a very surprising development though, because I think no one was expecting that. I mean, Fubo shares were up 200%. So I thought that was like even surprised a lot of people, myself included. I was like, what the hell? The first when I first heard that, because they're butting heads and now they're like together now. So I was like, well, that's unexpected. There was no rumors. There was nothing that would prepare us for that. It just happened. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Doom is intrigued. Now, is this not Monopoly? Is this
No,
not Monopoly? Oh, I
I
see.
don't think it's monopoly. People will say that the haters are gonna say, "Oh, just monopoly." I thought
Yes.
monopoly behavior.
Yeah, it's a Monopoly.
The thing is though, Fubo needed a buyer, and Disney wanted Venue Sports to be released.
Okay.
Now, I don't think this was Disney's idea. I think this was Fubo that needed a buyer, and this was their upper hand. That it was like we need more like we need like more like I guess let's say cash flow, better cash flow. Again, I don't know what it is exactly, but I know it's something that I guess it's good for business or it helps them a lot better. It helps them keep them standing. So like, well, Disney's right there. We have them up, have them like right there, and their streaming is pretty good. So it's like, let's try and see if they can buy us out or something like that. I don't know. And and it's not monopoly because there's still a lot of competition out there. The main thing about about a monopoly would be has to own at least more than 33% of a certain business. So why I don't think this is a monopoly because I mean YouTube TV is still bigger than Fubo and Hulu combined. So you have them, you have Philo, you got Sling, you got all these other TV companies that are not as big as YouTube TV or this new company, but there's still competition around, and that's just North America. We're talking. I mean, let's not forget there's a lot of people out there like India, these other countries that have a lot of their own like streaming TV companies. So this is North America alone. Right? I mean, we haven't talked about other like countries. So there's a lot of competition out there for that, and it's not a huge business either, because Disney didn't see a lot of like confidence in their live TV business, despite them having so many channels. They don't really have like it's not the biggest money maker, so they're not very concerned about it. So that was probably why they're like, okay, well we'll merge our business with Fubo, but we'll own the majority of it and help you guys stay afloat. And Fubo, the majority of Fubo, the team is all there. All the people that work in Fubo are still there. They're not firing anyone. They're not rearranging anything. It's just that they have a little, I guess, more final say in things, but it's still gonna be Fubo running as usual. I think as usual, and helping Disney get more channels. And as of now, Hulu Live TV and Fubo TV will be operating separate. They will be working together, and I think as of now they will be offered separately. So, and of course, this doesn't affect the actual Hulu like streaming service. That's independent now. Well, it's been sort of independent, like away from the Hulu Live TV. But as of now, they're gonna have these two companies uh, working, I guess, together, but also separate. Like they offer things separately. I'm sure they're gonna merge these two companies eventually. Oh, not the companies, but the live TV portions eventually. Fubo and Hulu Live TV will become one, and there'll be more bundles out there for everyone to. Because Fubo does have a little more experience on that than I think Disney does, and Disney doesn't want to focus too much on that as a business because it's not their biggest money maker. They're not going to be too because they're also losing. To be fair, they also lost some money with Hulu Live TV. So it's like, well, I think it's the best of both worlds because hey, we will offload a good chunk of our business to you, even though we'll own a good portion of it. But we'll let you guys run it, let you guys do your thing, carriage deals with other companies, and make good profit out of that. And we'll focus on venue sports, which they thought would be the future of streaming, is with sports, because sports is the most valuable thing in TV. So And of course, I mean, you got competitors like Fox and Warner Bros. Working with Disney. So when you know that your competition is working with you, you're doing something right. So they're doing, I don't know, like seem like Disney is like kind of in charge of venue sports. I mean, they're gonna have the most like of all the three companies, they're gonna be putting in the most content because ESPN has a lot of sports, and we're talking not just ESPN but ACCN, and you have the let me see what else. You have that league, you have SEC, you have a lot of these other channels that they operate. And Fox Sports, they got the FS1, FS2, and Big Ten Network, and well, Warner Bros has just TNT and TBS and True TV. And yeah, I mean, like I said, they're gonna put a lot of content, and but Fox is the one that's going to be doing the venue sports. Like they're going to operate, they're going to create the app itself as Fox Sports. They're going to be the ones creating the app and creating for that company for that venue sports. And I don't know about Warner Bros. I don't know what they're putting in the table, but I know that Disney's going to offer a lot of content for venue sports because yes, a good chunk of those channels will be from Disney, ABC and ESPN and all that. But yeah, and so they're kind of riding on that like success of venue. Although I don't know why they didn't invite NBC or CBS because that would be like more complete. Like NFL would be more complete. You get more soccer in there, and what else? You get more NASCAR. I mean, they do have NASCAR and NFL, but I think that you have more stuff if it's like more complete if you have these other channels too. So I don't know why they didn't invite CBS or NBC. But beyond that, I mean, venue sports is going to be pretty interesting. I don't think it'd be as robust, but because I mean, you have Fubo TV making their own like sports and broadcasting package, and it's gonna have ABC and then all the ESPN channels. So it's like I was thinking, what if that would become the new sports, and they would have CBS and NBC all in that one package, and it's under Fubo instead of it being independent. It will be by Fubo TV that operates it, while Fox creates the app that Fubo will be helping running it and all that, and have more channels than just eight, Disney, Fox, and oh, actually, speaking about Fox, in case you're confused, like there's Fox is still around, but it's like 20th Century Fox became 20th Century Studios.
Yeah,
Well, they don't own the Fox name, so they had to change the name. So they own everything, but they don't own the Fox name. So the Fox was still its own thing, Fox Corp. So Fox still around, just a lot more downsized. But yeah, they still got Fox Sports out there. They still got a couple of things. Oh, speaking about that, football also has regional sports networks like how can I say it? Like the Fox Sports Southwest. Like they have the Spurs, they have the Stars, and well, basically they got sold to other companies before the Disney merger came up. Well, after the merger came to be because of Now that would have been monopoly actually if they had the regional networks because they could have gotten that, but they had to sell it. So they sold it, and now it's rebranded so many times. It gets confusing when, but basically those networks are still out there, and Fubo has them, and Hulu doesn't have those regional sports networks. At least not many. I think they have maybe a few, but not the big ones. No. So with Fubo, they could have the sports, all the ABC, CBS, ESPN, FS1, FS2, Big Ten, TNT, CBS, NBC, and the regional sports networks for a good price. That's all sports stuff in one package. I'm thinking that I'm thinking that they should give venue sports to Fubo and let them operate it too, and be under them so that it could be a little more like, you know, like they're not doing it by themselves because that was the main reason why they sued them in the first place was because of that, because it's not there's no middleman. It's just them directly providing it to the people. So that was why they were concerned about running out of business and all that.
hmm.
Pretty much.
Fubo, Fubo, Fubo. They just had to side with Disney.
You know, it's funny right now. DirecTV is actually, ironically, DirecTV is also trying to find a way to not sue, but try to do another lawsuit against Disney and Fubo. Well, not Fubo, but against the whole thing because they want to see if Fubo had a fair deal.
The D in DirecTV stands for Doom.
Doom TV.
Doom TV.
No, but
um,
that's so, and it's ironic too because guess what? They had a dispute, a carriage dispute like a year and a half ago, and so Disney and DirecTV were butting heads too. And well, they eventually came to an agreement like, hey, you can provide our streaming channels. They could, I mean, the channels are going to be there, but now they have Disney Plus and ESPN Plus for premiere for like I think like a certain like tier, like a premiere tier or something like that.
yeah.
I forgot the exact news on that, but they have the more choices, and now they're also trying. They're keeping the like content wise, they're bringing like cable alive, and they're also bringing trying to keep this live TV, internet live TV alive too. Although in this case they didn't buy DirecTV, they just made a deal that would suit them and help them keep running. And Fubo was in a more of a desperate like spot because they had to sue. Otherwise, with Venue Sports coming, I mean they're basically doing like it's basically like a Fubo TV, but made directly by the sports people themselves, the people that own the sports companies, instead of a third party. So they would have run out of business much sooner. And like I said, Fubo TV was losing channels already. They've been losing. I mean, they still got the sports, but they're losing like a lot of the channels for some time. So it was kind of a good thing to combine all. And now Warner Bros. Wants, and it's funny because I say Warner Bros. Because they're also pretty much tied to like Venue Sports, and now they want to try to talk with Fubo to bring those channels back to them. Because guess what? They're connected with Venue Sports. So now it's kind of like not forces them, but kind of gets them like a better reason to talk with Fubo now. Because now Venue Sports will be out there, and it's like, well, it's like in a way, this Disney deal helped a lot of companies like move things along now because those channels are with Hulu, but not on Fubo. So now it's like there'll be even more channels now. I don't know for both of them, but I know for a good for they'll be bringing more channels. I would assume for both of them, but eventually it's gonna merge all together. So Netflix killer.
The Netflix killer.
I'm telling you, Tones. I mean, Easy Doom is gonna be Netflix killer right there.
Yeah, it's back at it again. Y'all been playing Marvel Rivals? I have.
I have not.
I my buddy here. He's an anti Marvel Rivals fan. But if you have, look forward. But if you have, look forward to season one tomorrow, or should I say, in a couple of hours. At least that's what I'll be doing. Um, my good old pal here won't be doing that, unfortunately. Oh, not a Netflix killer. Oh,
Wait, what?
not a Netflix killer.
Not a Netflix killer. We'll see about that. They got
uh,
Marvel. They got Star Wars. Netflix doesn't have Marvel. They lost Marvel.
they lost Marvel. For
Yeah.
shame.
And no, I mean I don't know. I mean Netflix is okay. They're just kind of overrated. In my opinion, I think they're very overrated. So they got stuff, but and now they got Raw. And I don't even use it.
Netflix. Oh man, you can't kill something you don't use. This is true.
Let me
Oh,
see. Oh, I can show comments. That's cool. Oh, sick.
uh, play Overwatch. Oh,
I know it's a lot like Marvel Rivals, but
it's something. I'll tell you that. Netflix has Squid Games. This is true. It's one of
I
the
know it's
it's
so
one of the
overrated.
very few
It's
ones.
the K drama of like I don't know.
That's about it. Oh, that's where it stopped. No. Nah, Netflix has some interesting choices for the most part. You just gotta look for them.
Okay,
At least last I was on.
they got some things, but
Yeah, they're not as enticing
yeah.
as when you go to the cinema and you see like the newer films and compared to like Disney Plus and Hulu as well. So yeah, there's plenty of other options that are just have much more variation, compared to Netflix, which has just it has just fallen off a little bit, or maybe
I think
forever.
quite a bit. After Daredevil left, it's like nothing's the same
It's
anymore.
like nothing's the same since Daredevil left. Since Daredevil left Marvel,
It's the
it
same
hasn't been the
anymore.
same. Oh,
Now I have to flock Disney Plus and Hulu to get my Marvel fixes.
Overwatch was first, so Marvel is like Overwatch. That's wild. Honestly, you're right. You're right. You know what? Some may say,
Marvel Rivals is like Overwatch. You mean?
Marvel Heroes is like Overwatch. I mean,
Weren't they created by the same company though? Like by what was it, Blizzard?
no, 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 no. That
Or am I confusing that?
I'd be careful of that. So, you're opening the can of worms there.
Because I
Um,
know that it looked a lot like Overwatch. So I'm like, didn't the people that create Overwatch create that game too? Marvel Rivals? Because it has a lot of
uh,
similarities.
it's a possible that some of the team might have moved on into the Marvel Rivals team. I have no idea about that. That's actually a very good question. But yeah, I have no idea. Who knows? But yeah, our good old friend in the chat wants you to play Overwatch, and oh, Overwatch is better. Okay. Honestly, I'll be honest. I haven't played Overwatch,
I
but
haven't played either of them. I mean, I'll take your word for it, I guess.
oh, Activision owns Overwatch. This is true.
Mm, I guess.
Blizzard, man.
I guess I was kind of right because I said Blizzard. So, but did they
Yeah,
also create Marvel Rivals or?
no, I don't think Blizzard has worked on Marvel Rivals,
Because
at
it
least that
really
I know of.
like it does look like Overwatch.
It is look very similar. I'm pretty sure maybe people from the Activision team might have moved on and worked on it. Let's play Overwatch. We're streaming Overwatch now. This is a gameplay stream. Imagine
What's it not
that'd be
be?
insane. That'd be wild. Um, but nah, that's yeah, we should play Overwatch. So are we playing Overwatch now? Is that what I'm hearing? Nah, but if anything, I mean, it should be interesting to see how Marvel Rivals, competes with Overwatch in terms of, I'd say, more or less, not only the competitive nature of the game. Oh, Activision owns Blizzard. This is true. I think this happened like, I don't know if this happened a while back or it was already the thing.
And
They
remind
were
me
already
again,
combining.
Microsoft owns all that, right? Or am I?
I'm
I'm not,
actually not well versed in these topics. We should
yeah,
ask
video
our good
games. I'm
old
not
friend.
very much in. I'm not. I mean, not that much into them. I'm just not like as aware of them. Video games. I know Microsoft and Sony have been buying like studios like crazy right now, but I've been I lost track of some of what they own exactly.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild landscape out there, man.
But everyone's
Uh,
buying everyone.
Everyone's buying everyone. Everyone's copying everyone. Overwatch copied Marvel. Marvel copied Overwatch. It's One Piece copied Marvel. Marvel copied One Piece. It's a whole shabacle, man. Um,
Not that long ago.
but the IP not that long ago. Yeah, I heard about that. Activision is wild for that, but not a bad choice. Microsoft, I think, did buy Activision. Yeah, I think you're right about that. I mean, considering the if Activision owns the Call of Duty games, then that should be more or less correct. I
There's always
think
a bigger fish.
there's always a bigger fish in the sea. That's right. That's right. That's why we got to get rid of Disney. Okay.
Uh,
No, I'm joking. I'm
I want
joking.
to go to Comcast or Sony for that. They're
Comcast or Sony. That's insane. But no, I think that'd be pretty interesting though. So I don't know if did we run out of conversation? Oh, Microsoft. Okay, no, that's the last one. Sal, you have
I think
anything
I
else to
think
add?
we'll wrap it up here. I mean, we talked about recasting T'Challa. We talked about a bit of Fantastic Four, Doom,
Yeah,
and a bit of Marvel
Doom,
Rivals
bit
because
of Marvel
someone's
Rivals.
watching it, and
Yeah,
we
check it
talked
out.
about.
Season 1 comes out tomorrow.
All right. Well, I
By the way,
guess
we're not sponsored. I'm sorry.
don't sponsor us, Activision or Blizzard or
No,
whoever.
actually, please sponsor us. We don't. We'll play it if you sponsor us. Buy us the
I
PC, and we'll do it. We'll do it, please, for free though, for
rather,
free. But yeah, Sal, that I'll leave it up to you.
yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Only because my laptop is like at 7% right now, which is insane.
For shame. Oh, hey, Sal, no, it's my social, so we can play Overwatch. Nah, man, that's why I would, but
Can we?
I honestly don't have
I'll send it to
Overwatch.
you, Z Doom. I'll send him his socials.
Yeah, we can play Marvel Rivals though for sure. Overwatch, I don't actually have, so yeah, sometimes, but don't worry, my laptop can
I
handle
don't
it.
have a console right now. So,
Yeah, our buddy Sal here doesn't got a console, but yeah, I think it was a good podcast so far. We discussed so many things, and yeah, I think hopefully we could expand this later on for the official stream. It's free to
right now
play.
we're
This is
doing like a
true.
soft launch. So
It's free to play. Yeah, I gotta check it out. Alrighty, so Sal, you'll go ahead and do the outro. I don't know how you do the outro.
I don't know. I just say like, well, thank you to our one viewer who's been watching us from the start or most of the stream, and
Ah,
yeah, we'll catch up on that. We'll want to follow us on Facebook. I post there. I haven't posted lately, but I post a lot of information there and like trailers that come out and opinion posts that I have and anything that's Marvel related, DC Comics, Star Wars, anything nerdy. You could we're more than welcome to follow on us on Facebook and of course you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be doing this for now. We're doing soft launches, so it's not officially our podcast is not officially up yet. We're just test running some stuff, and we're still gonna do maybe one more test run, and then after that, I'll make an announcement about when the official podcast will start. So this is just test run number 5, I think.
yeah.
And yeah, that's about it on that. This thank you for joining us and if you hear guys here replaying of our video and see at least most of our stream, I thank you for visiting us and for subscribing if you have and yeah, we'll have a lot of topics to talk about. I mean, there's so many things to talk about, and I'm excited to share all my thoughts and what I think about to you guys. And I'm looking forward to having this podcast up and running soon. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. And Zdoom, you want to add anything else to it, or
No, that's about it for the most part.
all right? Well, guys, it's been nice having streaming with you guys, and I hope that we stream again real soon. All right, catch you later, guys.
Yeah. Take care.
All right.